Welcome to Aviation 101 with Laura. I am here at an undisclosed location to give you an insider look at a interesting airline operation. So stick around and let's go explore. Now, this company was very specific where I was not allowed to record any video while on the tour, but I was able to take some photos. This is a cargo company that has over 300 aircraft in its fleet. Now, for those 300 aircraft, they actually have 97 dispatchers approximately. And they divide up the dispatchers into two categories, doing flag flights, and you can check out my video on the different rules between flag and then domestic. And for those dispatchers working on the flag or the international flights, they typically do 8 flight releases per shift, and they would follow 8 flights. In the US, it's more like 20 flight releases per shift and following about 20 aircraft in flight. One thing that I thought was interesting is that they set up their desks geographically. In this picture, you can see where the desks are. There was nobody in this location actually when I was there because they have another location where they dispatch. Certain days of the week they're in one building and other days of the week they're in another location so that they can always make sure their backup is working properly. The dispatchers here bid geographically for the desk that they want to work, and that kind of allows them to optimize their area. I think it's interesting. They basically get really good at dispatching in a certain area. They have iPads for their crews. They send out the dispatch release about 3 hours before. And with the dispatchers, they also have a meteorological department. This allows them to do EWINS, and EWINS is essentially allowing the airline's meteorologists to write their own weather forecasts. And just with the nature of this company's operations, some of the places where they're operating is not very easy to get weather that is very accurate. And so they use their EWINS department so that they can be as safe and efficient as possible in various parts of the world. The dispatchers here work generally 4 days on, and then they have 3 days off, but they can pick up or trade shifts with other dispatchers. In order to contact the flights, some airplanes do have sat phone. All of them are equipped with ACARS. Now, I was also able to see part of this airline's simulator training facility, and what I found really cool about these simulators was that they had windows in the sim bays, which I have never seen at any of the companies I've ever been to, which provide a lot of nice natural light. And of course, I didn't get in the sims. All of them were in operation training pilots while I was there. But it was still really cool to see their simulator bay. My friend, who is the tour guide that gave me the tour, began as a delivery driver, went through dispatch school, and then eventually was hired as a dispatcher for this company. This company has all Jeppesen charts. They use Flight Explorer for their aircraft situational display. I also got to see a couple other really interesting things that I wanted to point out. And unfortunately, like I say, I couldn't take video while I was on the tour, but they used to have a paper scheduling system. And so I was shown this crazy, humongous piece of paper, and I took a picture of the piece of paper where they used to schedule all of their aircraft on this crazy huge piece of paper. It was a very long, like dot matrix printer printout. They saved some of it, which I found really interesting. And another really cool thing that this company does is sometimes it transports various types of animals. And so they had a model of one of their aircraft on display, and they showed me how they have transported, for example, pandas in the past, from zoos to various other zoos around the world. So it's super interesting and super cool. This particular company, because it is a cargo airline, they do have some very serious dangerous goods protocol. When they put dangerous goods on the aircraft, they have to be positioned near the cockpit in the first 4 positions so that the crew could get to it in flight in the event of some kind of fire emergency. with those dangerous goods. And last thing I found interesting was that their own internal department gets all their overflight permits. They are able to sometimes bring freight, not typically within one country, but since it's a US-based company, they can, of course, fly all kinds of freight into and out of the United States. But depending on where they are going with their operations, sometimes the aircraft leave the United States empty but come back full of things, which I also found very interesting. Thanks for watching Aviation 101 with Laura. Don't forget to like and subscribe and check out my other tour videos.